Hello and welcome to TouchPoint with Tayo on Jambo Radio Scotland, the show where everything matters. I'm your host, Tayo Oyeleke, and on TouchPoint, we explore issues that concerns Africans in diaspora and beyond. I mean, it means talking about even Africans in Africa and Africa everywhere. And we educate minds, and we also touch on and address trendy issues that concerns Africa and engages Africa's realities. And on Touch Points today, we are exploring key moments that we've had on Touch Point with Tayo. We're taking a deep look, in-depth look into Touch Point with Tayo episodes. And to join me is no other person, is my guest, a friend, and someone who had also appeared on this on this show, Touchpoint with Tayo, and almost being a co-host right now. Yes, he's Mr. Oluseye Oyeleke, an architect, an interior designer, and a project manager. You're welcome once again, Sheye, to Touchpoint with Tayo. How are you doing?
Thank you, Satire. It's a pleasure being here again, and happy to join in with you on the program today.
Well, as we say in Africa, your face is shining, you know.
Yes,
Okay, viewers and audience, listeners, you can join this conversation on Jambo Radio Scotland on our social media handles. You can watch live on YouTube on Jambo Radio Scotland. You can also join on Facebook on the same handle, Jambo Radio Scotland, and on Twitter we are at jamboradio.scot, and on Instagram we are at jamboradio.scotland, and you can also email us at on Jambo Radio at info at jamboradio.co.uk. Almost mixing the whole thing up. So send us your comments. We'd like to hear from you, your contributions. Let's engage and let's learn some lessons from each other as we explore key moments, in-depth look at Touchpoint with Tayo episodes. And I'd like to start with on a keynote. We are about wrapping up the summer season here in the UK. How has been summer? How has been the holiday like? How has been your vacation? How did you even spend it?
Thanks for asking that question. To start with, here in Manchester, the summer has been, as some of my people say, the summer has been summering. That means the weather has been quite good. It's been warm enough. It's clear skies, and that's allowed opportunity for many of us to do other activities we normally would not be able to do in the summer or in winter or in spring period because of how windy or how cold it might be. So it's been a great opportunity to take the kids out, to have some fun, to basically relax and just take one's mind off work and of the hustle of meeting this need or meeting that demand, and just touch base with oneself. So
Deadlines so that you can become lively again. I mean, it's like the weather in Africa shifted to Manchester.
It shifted exactly to Manchester. It's been fun. Going around different locations within the country by road. This was an experience, and it was quite enjoyable. I mean, there's nothing like having good amenities, good services, good infrastructure. It makes life beautiful. So
beautiful.
Yeah, it's
I love that description. Makes life beautiful. And I mean, what right here in Glasgow, it just has been summer rain. I mean, how is summer rain? It's been a mixture of summer and rain. It's like you have what you call the raining and the dry season all at the same time in summer. Yeah. So, but it's been wonderful. Also had time and fun with the kids and family. A question that keeps coming to my mind is, do you think Africans plan their holidays, or let me put it another way, or do our holidays plan us?
So the answer to your question is there are several ways to look at it. It depends on your situation. Some people would only take an holiday maybe when they are about getting married and they think of their wedding vacation and they think to travel abroad, maybe to Dubai or other places. A few people who have traveled, who are Nigerians or who are in Nigeria, I think only a small percentage make vacation like a regular thing, like a culture. The vast majority are focused on, I don't want to say making money, but there's always that need to meet up with something. There's always that next thing they need to achieve. So the focus is always on that thing they need to achieve. So it has not been a culture. Then secondly, the way we see vacation back in Africa and here is quite different. I mean, you take 2 weeks holiday, you travel to some other new place, you see new cultures, you see new people. In Nigeria, like I can clearly remember, every Friday is a vacation for me. Like I just go to the next nearest joint. There's there's something to eat, there's something to drink, and you have people who are ready to gist with you and talk with you. So I think the vacation scene is it's a culture shift as well, because relocating to the UK, begin to see how people actively plan and intentionally plan a vacation time for themselves and the family to either rebond or to have exciting moments, memorable moments that they come back home, talk about with other friends, have pictures. So it creates those memories, it creates bonding, it creates time for families without their phones and devices to get to know themselves. And so it's something that I think every family or everybody should look into and create a kind of time period for themselves where they are able to really relax. So yeah,
Yeah, probably one of these days we'll just talk about how to spend your summer holiday, or even how to spend your vacation. It may not actually be the summertime. It may not be. I mean, it could also be anytime you just take away from work and you will be able to relax, rather than using your vacation for another hustling and bustling of getting more money to, because at the end of the day, let me say it in English, it comes back to the body.
yes, so I mean, the body has its limits, and if you don't respect the health implications of just keeping that body working and not let it rest, then we would end up paying the price later in future. And some people already paying that price with stress, with ill health, with a lot of other side effects that comes with overworking. Um, it's I mean, even a car, you buy a car, no matter how good your car is, at some point you take it to the mechanic to service the engine. So let's on servicing your own engine, helping your body relax, get it back into shape. You can keep making progress with whatever endeavors you have in life. So it's really important that we take taking time out to rest, taking time out for vacation, taking time out to really reconnect to things that matters the most in life. Because at the end of the day, like one of the episodes you had, at the end of the day, you come back, it's all about family. Whatever you're doing, whatever endeavor, always something about either yourself, your family, you're thinking of the future, you're planning for that future. But if you're not in that health to enjoy it, then what's the point? So it's food for thought for everyone.
I think we're going to have an episode about the concept of rest and the concept of the concept of rest and concept of taking vacation. How do you plan for it? What is it in it? I think we'll come back to that. But you made mention about something about the past episode, something that we've actually discussed before on this on this show, TouchPoint with Tayo. So looking back at, so we've had about 15 episodes right now. And
Yes.
what makes you tick about those episodes? What do you always expect while you listen to guests?
Personally, I'm always watching out for things that I don't already know, informations I don't already know about how to deal with real life situations here in the UK as an immigrant, because context is also a very big factor in terms of how, as an immigrant, can I use the knowledge I gain from the episodes to better myself or solve a situation or a problem that I might be, or a challenge I might be facing. So a lot of people have been here many years, even before I moved into the country, and most likely almost every immigrant would have faced similar situation to possibly what I'm currently going through or experiencing. I'm always watching out to see how have they solved those problems, how have they overcome the challenge, and it's been quite insightful, because sometimes you think you know how to go about certain things, and when somebody who has experienced it already tells you this is how best to handle it, it becomes easier for you to deal with those issues. So that has been a major highlight for me, and I've to be fair, I've really learned a lot from other guests. It's been quite educational.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So if you look at examine those moments in those previous episodes, which episodes stand out for you, and what are those most impactful moments in those episodes? Why do they stand out?
It's hard to pinpoint one, because out of 15, there are quite a number of them that made impressions on me in terms of what I learned.
You can pick one of your own too.
Well, I'll try not to. But there was one of the conversations you had about resilience and what's the word now? There was one you had about resilience and trying to keep going while things might not seem to be working out fine. There was the other one about settling down as an immigrant. I think we had that conversation, yourself
Yes.
and I, about
Yes.
yeah, about
The journey of an
settling
immigrant.
immigrant. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the question still rings in my head, because every time I have conversations with people back in Africa or even here in the UK, everybody narrates the story more or less like a journey.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that's still continuing for almost every one of us, because until it feels like home, it is not home.
The journey doesn't even end.
It doesn't even end. But when you say, oh, where are you, and you say I am home, it's different from saying I'm in a place. Now, until we feel that way, that journey continues, and when you now get to that point, then it's now a new phase of the journey. So those interviews, those conversations resonated with me, because it speaks to the struggles of every immigrant in the UK, or who has Nigeria as a family, as an individual. Imagine when we talked about information that people hear from social media compared to the realities on ground. When we talk about managing stress, when we talk about getting information about their health, and being able to navigate the laws, the culture shock in the UK. Just those that it's happening to me in real time. So
it's still shocking me. It's still shocking me.
So being able to connect with what the guests are saying, that just sticks with me, because it feels like, it makes me feel like I am not alone on the journey. Makes me realize that there are other people who relate to what I am feeling, what I am saying. They understand where I'm coming from, they understand where I'm going, and they understand what the journey means. So when I'm saying, oh, I am stressed, they can read in between the lines. They understand the weight of that statement. They understand the struggles of, I mean, it's a whole lot of things: paying school fees, getting accommodation, learning the language, understanding how people communicate, then dealing with the struggles and challenges from back home, or expectations of people from back home. So when you put all of those mix into one big pot, it's a whole big pot of food you really want to swallow down your throat. So
Yeah.
really, so those ones. Then there was a particular one you had with a professor, about marriage and dealing with the challenges of marriage. Yeah, that
Fatherhood.
also.
That's with Professor Michael Balogun on
Yes, Professor.
yes, it's on the it's episode see it's episode 10, The Art of Fatherhood, Perspective and
Yeah.
Reflections. Yeah.
Yes. So I think you had two guests who talked on it. One of them mentioned about always making sure he spends quality time with his family as well.
Oh, that is another Balogun. That's Crossing Borders, Living a Balanced Life. That's Dr.
So
Balogun.
I have to answer the question because there are so many of the episodes that resonate
That
with me.
yes. I mean, there are some themes that are recurring in the life
Yeah,
of an immigrant. I mean, the
yeah.
episodes about living a balanced life is also there. So, what's your take there?
Living a balanced life. I mean, for that particular. So when I listened to that episode, I realized that it has to be intentional. It has to be you have to come to that conviction that this is the right course for me. This is the way I should live my life, and create that balance, because balance would not just come on its own. It takes time to develop that balance. It takes time to build a routine that works for you. It takes time to understand yourself and how to deal with situations so that your balance is not upset quite easily, because something can happen in a split second and it's all gone down drain. Or maybe you've changed job, you have to move to a new location. How do you create that balance while doing all of those? So that particular episode resonated with me because that's something I crave, and that's something I'm working towards. I'm a father of two boys, and I know how challenging it can be working full time.
Two
And
energetic ones. You need to describe it well. Two
yes,
energetic and powerful boys.
yeah, you know. So how to create that balance? My relationship with God, my relationship with my wife, my relationship with the kids, and with the family. Also having to do work full time. Myself and my wife working full time. And we live in a society where you are also doing things that gives back to the community, because community, you can't do without the community. So
Okay. Yeah.
creating time for all of those things requires that intentional effort, that conscious determination to say, I am going to do this thing, I'm going to do this assignment, this task. um, so that episode really helped me reflect on myself to say, what do I need to do better, how do I achieve this? And it also helped me set more realistic goals in terms of being realistic with myself. If I want to achieve something in 1 year, the question is, can I realistically meet that goal in 1 year? If not, if I give myself more time, will anything happen? If heaven will not fall, then there's no
Yeah.
point. There's no
Yeah.
point trying to do too much at a time. So those were very powerful episodes that I've from.
We'll be going for a short break now, and after the break, we will engage the audience and see what their views are concerning past episodes on TouchPoint with Tayo, and then we can also talk about personal growth and transformation. Be thinking about the episodes that talk to you about the personal growth and transformation. Then we'll also talk about resilience too. Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Need security? Call Alpha One Plus Limited, a strategic security resourcing platform that connects you with licensed security personnel. We cater for our clients' security needs, from manned guarding, door supervision, event security, all the way up to close personal protection. Alpha One Plus Limited, your one-stop security solution. Call now at 44-074-2526-7909 or send us an email on info@alphaoneplus.com.
Established in 2006 as one of Glasgow's original mobile massage therapists, we deliver high-quality treatments with the ambition to forge permanent relations with clientele. We specialise in on-site massage, a type of treatment that has been specifically designed to complement the convenience and availability of massage at work. It is performed with the use of a specialist mobile chair, without the use of oils or the need to remove clothing. At Massage and Glow, we believe that massage should be a part of your everyday lifestyle. Regular massage not only relieves stress and tension, but also stimulates blood circulation, can help with pain management, and promotes good mental health. A must for your busy schedule. Various holistic therapies available. Contact us now on 07530 905 152 for your mobile massage therapist.
On your mobile phone and on all social media platforms. Jambo Radio.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying tuned to our TouchPoint with Tayo on Jambo Radio, Scotland. I still have my guest with me live from Manchester, Mr. Oluseye Oyeleke, an architect, interior designer, and project manager. And we started the show looking at the summer vacation, which we're going to touch point later on and have an episode on how do Africans spend their vacation holidays, as we say it back in Africa. And you would notice I just got some text about, TouchPoint has not been on for a while. Why didn't we come up? And in a very short version is what we say back in Africa: the body is not a firewood.
It needs time to rest.
So it needs time for vacation too. So for our viewers and for our audience, we sincerely just apologize for not coming up as weekly as we ought to. But as you know, we are back and we are exploring key moments, in-depth look at touch points with Tayo episodes. And I still have my guest. I say he's almost a co-host now on touch points with Tayo. And you can join us in this conversation on various platforms as you have been listening to it right now. So on YouTube, on Twitter, which is called X, on Instagram. And you can also put in your comments and your views on the chats, and we'll definitely join you there on those chats. And today we're still exploring our key moments, in-depth look at TouchPoint with Tayo episodes. So let's talk on some themes. Share. If we examine the theme of personal growth and transformation issues, looking at the stories from guests, which episode stands out for you in terms of the theme of personal growth and transformation?
From the theme of personal growth and transformation, if I remember all of it clearly, the part of being able to develop oneself in a new environment, having the right skill set, having the mentorship to grow and develop, those were things that stood out, because as an immigrant, within the context of an immigrant, most of us are coming into the country and starting afresh all over again.
Yeah.
It now means that you're trying to understand the work culture, how you fit into the environment, into the workspace, what is expected of you. So even if you're coming in, maybe for instance as an engineer, I came into the country with my profession being an architect. I'm here and I'm realizing that there are a bit of knowledge gaps, work processes are quite different. So I've had to take a step back to understand what are those gaps, how do I close those gaps, and how do I launch myself going forward. Um, Mentorship, information sharing were some of the things that has helped. Some of the things I also picked from those conversations was really understanding who you are, and what you can become. What value do you bring to the table? How do you how do you communicate that value? How do you also allow others see that value so that you can shine in your field of study or your profession? Um, then for learning how to transform oneself, it's also being flexible with the information you have. Again, being in a new environment, things might not go as planned. So how flexible am I to adapt the skill set I have to achieve my goal? Can I move to a new sector? Do I have transferable skills? If I don't, then what am I doing to achieve those transferable skills? And how quickly can I build myself up so that I can at least get a job that is either well paying or puts me on a comfortable space within the society? Because those are the factors that help many people settle either faster, or it takes way longer time for them to settle down um, in a foreign country. So those episodes kind of reawoken those ideas in my head as to what am I doing now, what am I doing right, what should I be doing better, what are the culture habits I have developed that will help me attain those goals. But again, there is no doubt about it. As Nigerians, we are generally very, very hardworking people. We are we are strong-minded. We are mentally resilient people. We Putting us down is more or less trying to jumpstart our cables to say no. I must fight my way back up. you know. So those that target
I'm
spirit
trying
in
to
us
I'm
is
trying to look for a way to describe that spirit in Africa. It's it's like uh, it's like you are digging. It's like you are holding someone down, and you still want to dig your own way through. You can't hold
yeah.
that person down
Exactly. He will rather go down.
with the person. Okay. There are some issues there. We'll wait for Share to come back up. Wow. Let's hear your comments. Let's see your okay. Share is back.
Yeah, I went off for a few seconds.
Okay, yes. Okay. So there's also this. I'm just thinking about it now. Watched a program that talked about, although redefine what the person means by hard work, that you don't really need. I mean, it was talking about entrepreneurship really, so it wasn't really about that. At the beginning, you need hard work, but hard work will not be the one to sustain you. There, so if we relate it to the episodes of personal growth and transformation, some people had even said that you come from Africa and you get transformed entirely. I mean, if I say that in another form, is like a negative transformation of, oh, you are probably doing something in Nigeria, in Africa, in South Africa before you came around here and you studied, but you're not in that place of the course or the module or the discipline that you studied, but you're doing something else entirely.
Yeah.
And how do we talk about personal transformation and growth in that space? Because there are some people in that space right now. And how has TouchPoint with Tayo dealt with that particular issue from that perspective?
So let me start by saying that in science, they say energy is never destroyed. It can only change its form. You cannot, you would adapt yourself to the environment you are in to start with. So wherever I'm from, I am going to be and I move to a new environment, I am going to adapt myself to that environment to thrive. It's human instinct, is even animals do it. Now, relating that to what I have on the episodes about personal growth, it only helps you redefine the tools you have and make you realize that as an immigrant, you are in a new space. You are learning to thrive. But to thrive, you also need to see what others have done so that you can do either better or be really, really, really good at what you do. How would you be recognized? How would others see you? How would you be picked and say, yes, this person is doing something right? So I don't see anything as being negative. I only see it as being flexible. You have been adapting and you have been flexible. You can't, for instance, come from Nigeria and bring egusi soup and tell every white person to start eating egusi soup.
Never.
I would rather adapt egusi and cook it in a way that appeals to the white person, then he would think about eating it. So it's the same. I can't take a soup and take you to China, for instance, and say, Chinese person, sit down. Some might have the interest and have the courage to try it. But if you want to reach out to the majority of people, then you need to present it in a form that appeals to them.
Yes.
That is where flexibility comes in. That is where your skill comes in. That is where your raw talent comes in. That is where resilience comes in, because you would see some bit of resistance from people. But with those conversations about transformation, personal growth, you now realize that sometimes it's not working so hard. Sometimes it's working smarter. You have this raw talent, you have this skill set, you developed yourself to the point where you have skill set. So all you now need to do is learn, how do you transfer this thing? How do you communicate that value to the people where you are residing in, or the people that are closest to you, or the people that need it the most, or the people that are going to pay you for providing that service through the value you are bringing. So I think it's a win-win situation, depending on how you see it and depending on your situation. But at the end of the day, what stands out for me is it has to be intentional for you to grow yourself. You have to have a plan in mind, a game plan, such that you are ticking your boxes and moving at a speed that is realistic to your situation. Because people end up saying, I want to achieve XYZ. And they set a very realistic timeline for themselves, and it becomes a problem. They now become way down. They now start talking about mental health issues or depression, or stress, which is a big problem. So you don't as well also want to be burnt out, because at the end of the day, when you're not burnt out, then opportunities that you are looking for eventually comes. You don't have this power or the zeal or the drive to engage those opportunities. So again, the balance that we talked about earlier, that balance and also being realistic with yourself are very key points that the episodes really did a good number on them in terms of discussing and breaking it down, so that we know we are just being real with ourselves to achieve those goals we desired when we moved down to this country.
Okay, so if you look at Kimwe with some of these guests, which of the guests or episode really touch point with there are so many of those episodes that touch point with personal growth, and which one really that you can even recommend for, go and watch this particular episode, you will learn about personal growth, or you want to just tell audience, go and rewatch everything?
I mean, I mean, so personally, I would say everybody go watch all the episodes. And the reason I say that is each episode has something unique to offer, and each episode speaks to different people at different stage in their on their journeys.
Yeah, I can remember. Even the kids.
Even the kids. Yeah, yeah. I remember you had I think you had your daughter on the show as well, and that was during Father, and they talked about what they learned and what Father Day is meant to them, and how life has been for them here in the UK, relocating and settling down. So I mean, everybody has something to take away. So personally, I will speak to a few of the shows. The one I had, the interview I had with you was one, because that journey was very enlightening. And the reason I say that is I keep hammering on information. We live in a world of information now. If you want any information, you're only a click away. But the question is, do you have the right information, and what are you doing with that information? How are you using it to benefit yourself?
Yeah.
Some people are using information to make money. Some people are using information to cause trouble. Some people are spreading information to even just gain followership.
Yeah.
You know. So
that last one rings a bell. Yes.
So it's we've had 15 episodes of talking about a journey of an immigrant, but from different bus stops and different link roads that all join on that one road that we are on. Like I said earlier when we started, a few stood out to me. The one you have with the professor about fatherhood.
Yeah.
Learning how to balance being a father, learning how over the years one has dealt challenges with the kids, with the wife, and making the marriage work, and they remain happy to I mean, what marriage was like 10, 20, 30 years ago is not the same as today, because the society is different. It has changed. It has evolved. So we have the same challenges, but the way you solve the same problem is not the same way you solve the problem 30 years ago.
Is it that we have the same challenges? Because I mean, in those days, some of our parents married 2, 3.
but
not to even manage ourselves.
It was about family conflicts. It's always about family conflict or money to take care of the family. But I mean, it's nothing new. It's just that it's in a different form. Oh, yeah. So,
even thinking about singles, I don't know how singles related in those days. I mean, how even in terms of singles issues today, it's a different ball game. It's people marrying late, singles even seeking the right person to marry. The concept of the right person itself is problematic.
That's
another pot entirely. That's another pot entirely.
Yeah, and just to add to what you said, I mean, in the UK, a lot of single people have relocated with the hope of getting a better paying job, or even just being in an environment that has infrastructure that works when you compare it back to where you're coming from. But I mean, they are trying to leave some set of problems, but they're coming.
You pick another one.
You pick another one. Because, we're talking of depression. We're talking of loneliness. Is a problem. It's a societal problem. We have so many people who live their lives on social media, and they forget to live their real lives as real human beings. So you want to meet people, you have to go to the social media to meet people, and the people you are meeting, half of them are not even real.
Yes.
So who are you interacting with? Who are your real friends?
Who are your friends?
You know? So then the way the information age and gadgets and things has eroded actual human interaction. I mean, I was on the bus, on the train some time ago, and every time I keep noticing how everybody's just glued to their and nobody's having conversation.
Actual conversation
interaction,
with someone,
talking
even when you look at them and you want to start a conversation, like
are you all like what are you doing?
what
You know,
what concerns me and you?
yes, I saw an accident. And instead of people to react to help the person immediately, the first thing everybody did was to bring out their phones and start recording. So it struck a chord in me. I'm like, so if I'm in a crisis or I need emergency help, the first thing every other person around me is thinking of is first, let me get my phone to record what is going on and not offer help. So for me,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine you coming. Yeah, I mean, you need help, and for instance, hold on, let me first record.
Yes, let me first record what is going. So sometimes there's a good side to it because people have evidence to say, like when there's a case of, in quotes, police brutality, and people have evidence. But first thing is, let humanity show, assess the person, you know. But it's
My
a different,
own would
it's a
be
different point.
yeah. My own would be why are you recording first?
I mean, well, yeah, you can ask that question, but the person will also tell you it's my phone. I can record if I want to.
In the world,
I mean,
in the world of
not my problem.
followership and likes and subscribe and share, I mean,
Yeah. So those are issues that you now see that single people face. They can't have proper conversations. They can't interact with people that will help them. I mean, how do you marry when you can't even have proper conversation with somebody? So how do you take that into marriage? How do you take that into relationships? Even at work, how do you manage communication when we don't even communicate on a day-to-day basis? So those are deep social issues, but as an immigrant relocating, as a family, as a single person, you are living some set of problems to face a new set of challenges in your new society. So again, I mean, if you ask me again which episode resonates most with you, I will keep telling you, just go watch all 15 because they all have something that touch different individuals or different situations at different stages in the journey, and the journey is never ending, so it's always going to be an evolving thing. I mean, we can talk about immigration today, and in the next 5 years the conversation we'll have about immigration will be quite different because the circumstances are, so I think that's my
I mean, when I even think about all these episodes and the changes that are also happening back at home in Africa, we are all on a journey. We are all migrants. I mean, even you moving from one room within your house to the other, you have migrated. It may be a simple shift like that. It may be a big one, moving from one big space to another space. And so, and there are challenges every time, here and there. I mean, go back to Africa, things are quite expensive. Now, they are also expensive here. Even living here, even living back in Nigeria or go to another African countries, we are all on a journey and we are all progressing. And all of these themes are quite useful to us. How do we learn to grow ourselves, transform ourselves within change? I mean, that's basically what the whole episode that we've taken so far at TouchPoint on. How do we recreate ourselves rather than standing within this complaint every day? How do we recreate ourselves? How do we talk? I mean, I was also discussing with a professor. He's still writing, even though he has retired. You want to ask that professor, why are you still writing at over 70?
You can't. Life is evolving. The journey is always evolving. The pathways might look different, but at the end of the day, the destination is the same. So that constant evolving, that constant seeking to redefine yourself, to transform yourself, to use the tools you have to keep rebuilding yourself, it's a must for everybody. It's a must. Even immigrant, because at the end of the day, we want to establish ourselves here. We also want to thrive, and to thrive, it also means that you are developing others, because you are thinking of succession and to keep that momentum going. And to do that, you need to create a community. And how do you create a community? You need to have people with like minds who have the same focus, who are going on the same journey with you as well. So they pass on that, and over time it now becomes a tradition. Now when you have a tradition, then you can begin to have a culture. Now when you have a culture, then you have a history. Then you can say 10 years ago, this is where we started from, this is where we are today, and this is where we are going. Everybody in that same circle. So it's quite nice that we've had this episode so far, and it's going to be, I believe it's going to be more interesting as we keep going.
As we wrap up, I would like to ask, which of the episode, I mean, we've talked about all of the episodes, and which of those episodes do you feel had the most profound impact on you? And what was the key moment in that particular episode?
So the key episode that had most impact on me was the episode you had with the two, I think you had two doctors.
Was it the one with living a balanced life?
Living a balanced life.
That's Dr. Bode Balogun and Mrs. Temi Alonge, the PR and blogger.
Dr. Balogun made a statement, and he said, I think in his closing remarks, interestingly, I think I was driving home that day when I was listening, and he said, at the end of the day, it's always about family. That was so profound to me, because, and why it was profound to me is when I think back about why I am doing it, why I've made some decisions I've made to move to a different country. I've tried to break down all those decisions, and at the end of the day, I realized it came down to trying to create a better future for the family. So at the end of the day, it was all about the family. It was the love to create a better future, a better society, to thrive in an environment that would give them that opportunity to grow, which many of us never, but we are seeing the opportunity to have, and we are taking hold of it. And to do that, it means you have to make certain sacrifices. So when he said that, and I mean, it just summed up the entirety of this, the things you are going through, the worries you carry on, the wins and the losses, the joys and the pain, and the happiness. You know, it summed it up so nicely. So when he made that statement, in my head, I was saying, the day I met this doctor, maybe I will explain to him exactly what he said, how profoundly strong it was, because when he said it was all about family, and when he has the opportunity to just sit with them, hold them tight, and show them that love, there is nothing greater than that. So that was one episode that it's stuck. I
mean, irrespective of what people are saying about, he jackpot or he jackpadad or anything like that. I mean, people will always talk about your decision, whether you moved or you did. Even people who never moved, they are talked about. Talk less of you that you moved, because there are so many people who are saying, why do you have to travel out? I mean, there is that reason within each person to move. There is something. It's a personal decision. It's a personal one.
I mean, I can move, and sometimes the question I ask those who say, why have you moved, is give me reasons why I should not move. Let's weigh our reasons. At the end of the day, there is no right or wrong about it.
Or you ask them, why have they stayed?
Yeah. You know,
and you probably say, we love our country.
I love my country. But at the end of the day, that love should be reciprocated.
Let's hang it. That love should be reciprocated. Someone will take you up on that. So I don't want that discussion to go further than that. Because if we talk about reciprocity, it's another line that we're going to entirely.
Yes.
But how do the conversation in those episodes that influenced your, I mean, I think you've mentioned that, how has it influenced your perspective on that topic? What action have you taken in terms of, Dr. Bode said it's all about family? What action have you taken?
I spend as much time as I can enjoy my time with my family. I try to create quality time for myself. I mean, you are aware, taking vacation was part of that intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and who am I taking vacation with? My family. So it's those are the things like I listen to, I learn, and I take it in to now implement. You know, now seeing the results of it, I'm like, oh wow. So there is simple things in life gives the biggest happiness and joy. So why not?
I mean, you reminded me of a preacher that once changed my mindset about, I mean, there are some big 5-star hotels that you dare not think you want to go to in the 90s. And he said, why not? Go there and buy a bottle of water. You don't have to order for food.
Yeah.
Buy a bottle of water. That gives you access. And he said, rich men drink water. They don't, even most of them don't want to take all these sugary things. So with that, it broke my mindset about getting access to some places. To take vacation is not that expensive. I don't know.
It's not luxury. It's necessity.
There are times you don't even have to spend anything.
Yes, I agree.
So, before I ask you about Sheye Speaks, what advice would you give Africans in diaspora and in Africa concerning what is even happening? I mean, from what we have talked about on TouchPoint with Tyler thus far.
So I will say them in few words: purpose, intentionality, and flexibility. Now, what I mean by purpose is your journey. You know where you are. You started on a particular point. You know where you want to go. You need to be flexible at times to achieve your goals. They might not work as fast as you want it. They might sometimes seem too slow. But when you have a higher being, when you have a higher force who is directing you, sometimes allow it run its course. Then just keep at it, because at some point you would get resistance, you will get pushbacks, some things will seem like disappointment, but they're only there to help you learn how to grow. There is no negative energy. Every energy is energy. Energy is just energy. Use it to your advantage. Use it to achieve certain goals and move on. Because if you keep saying some things are negative, it means, to me personally, it means you are not learning from it. You are not learning the lesson in your way. And you might be the one ending up losing out. So whatever your journey is, as an immigrant, as people back home in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, whatever you are going through, use it as a springboard to move up. Use it. Learn to be flexible with yourself. Learn to be realistic, because at the end of the day, those goals need to create the purpose for life, for your existence. You need to sit back. Like personally, I keep telling myself, when I'm 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, can I look back and say, yes, I achieved my goals?
When we are.
When we are. So I keep asking myself, can I tell myself I lived a fulfilling life? If what I'm is not leading me to the point where I can give a yes to that question, then I should be evaluating myself. So that is my candid, honest advice to anybody all over the world.
So remember, viewers, that what is it that you give yourself candid advice. Don't give yourself marinating yourself. or marinating
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, don't. Give yourself candid advice on your life and the actions that you are taking. Parting shots. Share your speaks. What would you want viewers, listeners to remember about today? Let's say the 10% that they can hear and they can stick to.
Be resilient. Keep doing what you are doing. Be realistic with yourself, and trust God that everything in life is a process. You will eventually get there. Just keep being consistent. There is no hard and fast rule to life. Some things will take its time, some things will take its course, and everybody's journey is unique to them. One man's drink is another poison. So don't let social media deceive you and make you think that you are not doing well. You might even be doing better than most people that are showing off. So keep at it, keep strong. As Nigerians, we are strong people. We will eventually get to our destinations. Just keep on the fight and keep going.
Thank you so much. What was ringing in my ears were, my drink can be your poison. Your poison can be my drink. Don't take my drink and I won't take your poison. And just like I love Blessing's quotes, Blessing's Adogami's quotes, and mind you, she'll be coming up in one of our subsequent episodes with what she's doing and what she had achieved via our work here in the UK. And she said in our book, the principle of perspective is best practiced by challenging your assumptions and questioning your standards. I love it so much, and that is just it. And thank you, Sheye, for coming today and opening our eyes. I mean, we've taken some break for a while, and thank you for coming to TouchPoint with Tayo today. I want to thank the TouchPoint production crew here at Jambo Radio, and for the wonderful work that they are doing. Always from our backroom team, the researchers and the social media team, thank you so much. To the listeners and audience, thank you for joining us every time we come up, irrespective of whether we are here or not. You keep watching those past episodes, and every weekend you keep coming to the show. And that is it for this week and for this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Until next week, remember, life's journey unfolds uniquely. Run your race to attract grace, for it is only within the race that grace finds its way. I've been your host, Tayo Oweye. Join me next week for another exciting episode on TouchPoint with Tayo. Until then, I wish you a happy night rest. Good night.